Welcome to the Muxall Open IoT channel. I am your host, Michael Klein.
Okay, so we're to step 7 now. Secure wires and cables. All right. So it's revised on page 14. I have it pulled up here. Securing wires and cables. Required components, items A and B, are no longer needed and have been removed from the Z Plus kit. Items A and B are double-sided 3M tape and alcohol wipes. So we could have used one of those earlier, huh? The Z Plus kit replaces the 5 self-adhesive cable tie mounts included in the original kit with 5 screw-in cable tie mounts and 1 self-adhesive cable tie mount. Okay. I don't remember seeing a self-adhesive cable tie mount anywhere, but I'll look again. All right, so here's the, let's see, the Z Plus kit adds 5 M4 6mm socket head cap screws for installing the new screw-in cable tie mounts. Yep, got all that stuff right there. Okay, additional tools required. A pencil is no longer required. Okay, let's go back to this guy right here. So it's revised. And secure the Y-axis drag chain, which is page, I thought I marked all this stuff, page 59. Okay, I was getting a little bit lost. Okay, so we're supposed to skip pages 51 through 61. 58 recommended tools. Didn't they just say that right? Anyway. And then revised on page 62. So let's see, we're on 58. Let's see, we need to skip all the way till 62, which is revised. Okay. And that's securing the wires. And let's see, what do we got here? Securing the drag chain wires. Black and yellow twisted wires of the old homing switch have been replaced by new proximity. Okay, securing the gantry wires. Use 3mm hex socket head cap screws to attach each of the 5 cable tie mounts to the back of the X-ray. I'm sorry, the X rail. Okay, so they want us to put these guys right here into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I guess it's just the top holes. Yeah, it looks like it's just the top holes, because I can kind of see a little hole right here. Does it say that in the directions? And I just cap screws attach each cable tie mounts to the back of the X-rail. Now they're using a picture because but they could have said, yeah, maybe the top holes. All right, let me put those in. I'll be back. Went ahead and bolted those things on there. I mean, those are some monster screws for those little guys, but yeah, if you've ever used those these tape-on things like they're showing right here with the double-sided tape, you know, for holding. I have some in the lab actually. Yeah, those things last maybe 6 months, and then they get kind of old and they fall off, especially if it's in like a shop environment. So yeah, I'm sure they had all kinds of problems with that. So so now they've got this new system. You know, they say, okay, you got the 5 cable tie mounts, the back of the X-rail. Yeah. Okay, see the picture? Then I guess they want you to go over here and you know, keep reading, because we read this earlier, right? It's secured the drag chain wires. You know, use the old yellow twisted wire homing switch have been replaced by new black ones. So they're just basically telling, and this whole thing right here is telling you they changed the color of the wire. You know, this right here is telling you to use the screw mounts instead of the tape mounts. That's okay. So first they want you to come over here and clean this up, and they want you to do it by putting a couple tie straps right there that they don't provide. I have tie straps, but they want you to put one on each side. I'm not exactly sure why, and I'm not sure where you're supposed to tie it to. Okay, so on each side of the cutout to secure the wires in place. Well, each side of the cutout to secure it doesn't give you anything to tie it to. there's nothing to tie it to right here. I mean, except for each other, which is fine, but anyway. So, okay. Okay, so let's move down because I think I know what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to go over this stuff real quick. Okay, so securing the XZ wires. The wires cables at the back of the XZ carriage will be secured to the back of the X motor using a cable tie mount and zip tie. You know, one of these things I was just showing you. That can't ever have worked. I mean, that motor gets hot. That thing's going to fall right off. In the new one, they don't tell you anything other than in the picture, right there, you can see that there's no glued on cable tie mount. So they just kind of left you, and on top of it, they didn't supply one. I do not have one in my list or cable ties for it. Collect the XZ wires, secure them to the cable. Okay, they want you to bundle up, and the mess looks like that. And I actually didn't read any further at this point. Okay, securing the gantry. Yeah, so before I guess I glued these things all along. Yeah, I bet you that was a mess. And then apply the decal. Okay. So, yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trash all these instructions. They're worthless anyway, except for installing these things right here. And I'm going to grab some zip ties of my own and get creative and make it nice and neat. So I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, well, I was going along, cable tying everything. Everything's looking pretty good. Had a couple mishaps. Yes, those are the tabs off these white connectors here. I connected them up, then I went to go take them apart, and as soon as I started, you have to kind of lift them a little bit to unclick them or unhook them, and both of these broke off when I did that. That's okay. I mean, I have to be careful plugging them together because now instead of them being keyed, now they're not keyed, so I can flip them around. But what really bums me out is I was starting to do some cable management on this thing up here. A wire popped out of the connector. And yeah, so I guess it's just crimped in there. And I don't think this is Carbide's problem. They probably bought the motors and told the suppliers to put this connector on. They just didn't do a very good job. I guess Carbide built these. They're nice. They have shrink wrap on them. They haven't popped off yet, which is good. Yeah, so now I'm going to have to repair this thing. Anyway, like I said, I don't really blame Carbide. I'm sure it was one of their vendors. But if you ignore that, there's the gantry wiring. Looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Yeah. I added a few more tie straps to it. I didn't do anything with that yet. Yeah, so I have to grab my soldering iron or something. I don't know. I'll have to look at this a little bit closer. I don't know if I can get that pin out of there. If I get the pin out of there, then I'm sure I could force a pin out of there. Probably just find another pin for it. But yeah, that thing just, it just wasn't a good crimp job. Makes me wonder about the rest of them. I wonder if I should replace them all. Anyway, I was looking at the wiring. I was like, holy cow. None of the colors match up. So I definitely don't want to pull the whole connector off. Anyway, so I'll have to fix that. And if you're wondering, yes, I did cut the connector off the Z motor. A couple seconds ago, I showed you that the wire pulled out. And yeah, I went and I pulled it out, and I went to the local electronics shop, and they had these things here, and they look like they got the right pin pitch. 0.156. The pin pitch is right. The catch on here isn't. It's a little bit. You can see it's a little bit loose. So I only bought a couple of them, and I bought them for the pins inside. All right, so I'm hoping that this pin right here will fit in this connector right here. And then I'll just go ahead and, solder everything back up. And before I do that though, I'll probably shorten this wire a tad. All right. And so it's not just, dangling, not just all rolled up and everything. I can shorten it down. And then I also was thinking, I might just shorten them all while I'm at it. But I don't know. It's probably just as easy to tie strap them together. Doesn't look as neat. But anyway, I'll see how much motivation I have today. But first things first, I'm going to try to pull the pin out of this guy. And I'm sure I'm going to ruin it doing it. That's why I wanted to get another one. Okay, so I went ahead and trimmed the wire up. I cut the wire. I don't know, gosh, what is that? I shortened it to about 6 inches, I guess. Maybe 7. I cut a little bit off there, or stripped it down to the wires. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'll strip these ends, and I'll put these connectors on it, or these pins. And I don't know if I showed you. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, so here's the old pin I pulled out. Here's a new pin, and they look to be identical. And I could probably even fix that old pin. I'd have to bend out that little tab that, holds it in there, these little things right here. Yeah, I didn't really damage it getting it out. Sometimes those things don't come out too good. But that one popped right out. But I'm going to go ahead and use the new ones. I don't know, I might even use a new connector. The tab broke off this one already. I don't know if it's even any better than the old one. I don't know if it's any better than the new one since the tabs broke off. I don't know, did I show you the tabs? Yeah, see that snapped right off. First time I touched that thing, it just popped off. Yeah, I guess I'm going to go ahead and strip these back. And I am going to solder those wires on so we don't have to worry about them pulling out. Okay, so I went ahead and put the heat shrink on, and I have stripped the wires back. So when you're installing these pins, so you crimp over the bare side, that's where we're going to solder it. And these back ones right here crimp over the insulation kind of as a, I don't want to say strain relief. Well, I guess maybe it is a type of strain relief, but of course you can't solder that one. So I just wanted to point that out, and I'm going to go ahead and install them all these, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right, got those things installed on there. I forgot how much of a pain those things are to get on. Anyway, you kind of get the idea. Sorry, I'm not in the lab. If I was in the lab, I could put it under the microscope and give you a real good look, but anyway, you can see they're on there. You crimp the top over the wire, crimp the bottom over the insulation for the strain relief, and now I'm going to solder them up. We'll install them in the new socket, or the new clip connector. So I got them soldered on there. Let me see if I can get a good picture of it. Yeah, not the best looking solder job in the world, but it'll work. And I already plugged one of the connectors in. It snapped right in there. And make sure you get everything the right color code. I'm just following that down there. So yeah, so see the clip right there, that clips in that hole, right there. Yeah, right there. Hey, I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so we're going to do a quick sanity check. Old, new. Sorry, this phone just won't focus. There we go. Old and new. Now I'm just going to slide the heat shrink down. I don't know. Hopefully I told you to install the heat shrink earlier. I don't remember. And anyway, I'll slide this guy down like that. And heat her up. And it'll be done. All right, and there you have it. Oh, it looks pretty good, huh? And it's a lot shorter now. I might not even have to tie that down, but I probably will. I don't know where. I haven't decided yet. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and, since I have the parts, I'm gonna go ahead and shorten this guy while I'm at it. That way we can eliminate this this huge length of wire. Okay, for the sake of time, I did several steps at once. Yeah, this connector I did different. I think I might have mentioned that already. Yeah, this one I just basically cut the middle of the wire out. I wanted to save the other the other connector for in case I need it somewhere. And yeah, I know this thing is broke, but you can only stick it in one direction. So you know, with a tie strap on it, it should be okay. So basically, yeah, I soldered the wires. I cut the middle out, soldered the wires together. I'm gonna put you know, heat shrink over each individual one, and then a big heat shrink over all of them. It should look pretty good. Might have a little bit of a bulge, but it'll be all right. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so there you have it. All trimmed up and tie strapped. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Try to give you guys a picture, a little bit of a picture here. Yeah, this shouldn't come down and get in the way of this drag chain. I did add a couple extra tie straps in there. And one extra up here, but yeah, see, it's a lot easier to manage when, you know, the wires aren't 3 feet long. So that looks pretty good. By the way, I also added one more there, and I did add a second tie strap here, and I got to thinking about it. I said, I wonder if it's so, you know, it doesn't pull the cable one way or the other. I don't know. You see how tight that tie strap is? It's not tight at all, right? And I did that for a reason, because you can damage the wire if you just wrench down on these tie straps. And so I keep them fairly loose, so you can move. They can move around, and if you need to tie something down that's so tight that it that you need to wrench on it, then you probably need to change the way you're doing it. So anyway, I'm just kind of giving you a look-see, and yeah. So when you're using tie straps, if you have some wire cutters that look like this, these are side cutters. And you can see this little shard right here. They actually have a warning in the guide about it. These things are like razor blades. They will cut you like a knife. If you take these guys right here, these side cutters, and it's hard for me to do while looking at it on the phone, but get down on this thing and clip it like that. Yeah, see that? It is smooth as a baby's behind. Yeah, so yeah, you never cut yourself on that. So if you got a pair of these laying around, or if you can just go buy a cheap pair, when you're doing these tie straps, you can clip them all flush like that, and you won't have any problems. I haven't done it yet. I'll probably go through and clip some of them, but I'm not going to do that right now. So anyway, I just thought I'd point that out. Okay, so it says, yeah, trim all the ends of zip ties with a pair of flush cut pliers. I don't know if I'd call them pliers. I'd call them wire cutters. But anyway, they're not included. And it says when trimming the zip ties, be careful not to kink the cables. And yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. I don't know about kinking them, but yeah, if you crimp down on those zip ties, yeah, you can really damage them. Okay, so the next step is apply the Shapeoko detail. The Shapeoko comes with owner decal. Write your name on the decal, and Sharpie permanent marker included. And peel off the protective backing and apply the decal to the inside of the Y1 rail as shown in figure 713. And I'm not going to install it now. I don't care about it. Okay, so I changed my mind. I went ahead and wrote my name on the plate and affixed it to the Y1 rail. Just for completeness of the video, right?
Don't forget, you can support the Muxall Open IoT channel by donation using a credit card and PayPal, or by purchasing products at the Muxall store. Details and links are in the description under this video. Well, that's it for this video. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up, that helps, and hit the subscribe button. That really helps. If you have any questions or comments, post them in the comments under this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.